So I first met Tony Doyle when he visited our website, freeneville.com, signed up for a course or two. We did something called Dream Driven Day together, and now we're in the club. And I mention all this because I've gotten to know this guy, and I find him fascinating. Because I find that Tony is fascinated with life. He's fascinated with what's possible. He's fascinated with people. He's fascinated with success. And I find most people aren't. And so, during one of the live group calls that we were having in the club, I mentioned about, I'd like to write a book with you. And that's not what I do. I tend to be a lone ranger. Yeah. My business partner is my wife. And for the first few years in the business, it was just me. And so the thought, I'm fascinated with how Tony and I get to write a book together. And so as I'm pondering this, the idea shows up. We could do some conversations and transcribe them. Way cool. Problem. I'm not good at scheduling. I don't like to schedule things. I don't like to make commitments of time. I really don't. I stopped trading time for money years ago. It's very rare that I trade time for money. And when I do, there's always multiple dividends. Because I find if you want to stay broke and stay busy, trade time for dollars. Do that as much as you can and worship at the altar of struggle. Now, that doesn't mean I don't work. I mean, I get Tony and I both, we play a lot. We've got our fingers in a lot of little pies and some big ones. But here's the deal. I'm fascinated by what we can do. And so the idea pops in this morning, like at 3 in the morning, or at 3:02 a.m. You know, we could do this book just like this. I could speak into this little thing, and then Tony gets a recording and a transcript to listen to, something about 3 minutes in length. And then he could write back to me. Well, not write back, but talk back to me for about 3 minutes in length. And we could get these little 3-minute bits just transcribed real easy and give birth to something wonderful. And whether or not we schedule time together, we can still dance a very unorthodox dance. So we just came out of the year 2020, what I would call the year of vision, what a lot of people would call the year of the loogie, the year of the virus, the year that destroyed so much. But I'm fascinated with what's possible because it's time. It's time to abandon the old models that don't work. It's time to abandon the old complaints. I had a young fellow the other day tell me Facebook's destroying the fabric of our society, the internet. It's destroying relationships. And it's like, dude, you weren't even alive when they plugged a computer into a telephone. You have no right to say about what things were like before the internet. I can tell you this. The way that I impact the world wouldn't be possible without it. The amount of closeness that I share with my family from around the world, whether it's blood relatives or people like Tony, people that we meet in our programs and play, the family grows because we're in charge of the tools. I'm curious what happens as you explore you in this book and you get that you are what leads. Be a leader, be a lover, become someone who is so fascinating that perhaps we do something like this. All righty, Tony, it's your turn. I'm at 3:54. See ya.
So first off, I love the adventure of life. Now, not that I've always loved the adventure of life, but where I'm at now, it's really all that there is for me. So when Mr. 2020, who I respect immensely, suggested that we write a book, first of all, that was exciting to me. And then when he started exploring different ways to do so, it definitely piqued my interest. As 20 said, I met him online because he lives in Australia. I live in the United States. But I have been for the most of my life a seeker of truth, seeker of knowledge, seeker of adventure, and through a series which Neville would call a bridge of incidents, I met up with Mr. 20 and his wife Victoria over the internet. Because of Neville Goddard, as I searched out who the best teacher to learn from, at that point I was all into gurus and coaches and those type of things, which I still love. The mastermind concepts of talking and sharing. So I hope this book helps you folks in that way as well. But yeah, we met about Neville Goddard, and I was really, really interested in learning more. I was introduced to Neville by my first actual mentor, the first person I ever paid to be a coach, who was Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I was completely intrigued, as was Dr. Dyer, with Neville and his teachings. And so I searched it out, and I found out that Mr. 20 was well respected. So I started tuning into his video show with his wife. Super fun, irreverent, just the kind of guys I like, right? Just the kind of people I like. So it was fun. We were learning. It was practical. It was amazing. So it wasn't very long until I decided I needed to go ahead and purchase a course or two and dive in deeper. And boy, did I. Over the course of this book, I'll share more with some of the lessons that I've learned as going forward. And I hope that they can inform you as well and inspire you and help you to discover the adventure that is life and the God which you are, because you're giving life to whatever you want. You can, and if you're not now, you can learn how to do it. So that being said, I turn it back over to Mr. 20.